I'm gonna tell you exactly how I leveraged my skills outside of music to finally get my foot in the door, and how those same strategies eventually helped me turn songs into passive incomes that now pay me over $5,000 a month. I didn't start out as a Grammy Award-winning songwriter. I started out as a kid growing up in Atlanta, Georgia, with a lot of energy, a lot of creativity, and not a lot of direction. I wasn't exactly thriving in school either. Let's just say standardized tests and structured learning didn't exactly fit how I was wired at the time. I would struggle with math and other subjects and just feel like I was being forced into a mold that didn't fit me at all. But there was one thing I did understand, and that was creativity. I was always sketching, designing, and inventing worlds on paper. Visual art was my first language. It was what made me feel seen. And thankfully, it became the bridge that helped me focus and get into college majoring in visual communications. That path helped me gain confidence in areas that I once struggled with. Because once I could see information visually, I started to get it. I started to grow not just creatively, but intellectually as well. And that gave me a whole new level of belief in myself. But even while my art career began to take shape, from book covers to designing logos, etc., there was something that was always pulling at me, and that thing was music. See, growing up in Atlanta meant I was surrounded by music constantly. It's a city that lives and breathes creative expression. From church choirs to mixtapes, you couldn't walk down the block without hearing somebody that was chasing the next hit. And some of those people, they weren't just strangers. They were my friends, they were my neighbors, my homeboys. We used to pack into little makeshift studios, basements, closets, wherever we could get the work done. And I wasn't just watching, I was absorbing, living in that energy. Freestyling, songwriting, hook building. I didn't have any big placements and nobody in the industry knew my name. But I was building craft and muscle. And not just music muscle, but creative discipline. The same skills I had used to compose a visual story in art school, I was now using to craft stories in music. I learned to listen differently, to write with feeling, to structure songs that moved people, to craft melodies that stayed with you. I was living in that studio with people I grew up with, rising artists and singers. There was no YouTube tutorial for this at that time. This was real life, trial and error, iron sharpening iron. And let me be clear, there was no clear path. I was working a full-time job as a visual communicator during the day. But the moment I clocked out, my mind turned to music. I couldn't help it. I'd be up late writing verses, replaying rough beats in my headphones and going to sessions whenever I could. See, back then, it wasn't about making money. It was about making magic, about getting better, and about chasing the feeling. But here's the thing. Loving music and breaking into the music business are two different things entirely. And for a long time, I stayed in that space, talented, passionate, and unknown. But what changed? Ironically, it wasn't music that cracked the code for me. It was everything else I had learned along the way. My design skills and my understanding of how to package ideas, how to communicate, and how to build real relationships. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I leveraged my skills outside of music to finally get my foot in the door, and how those same strategies eventually helped me turn songs into passive incomes that now pay me over $5,000 a month. But for now, I want you to understand this. Success in music or any other creative field isn't about waiting to be chosen. It's about building yourself in the dark, so when that light hits you, you're ready. And trust me, when that light finally hit, everything changed. So there I was, a talented creative with music in my heart and a visual communications degree in my hand, still knocking on locked industry doors. The music industry, especially back then, was controlled by gatekeepers. Cliquish behavior, circles you weren't in, and rooms you were not invited to. People who already picked who they thought the next ones were. But I had something they didn't see coming. Design, branding, video, and presentation. See, while most folks were focused on getting their demos heard, I was focused on packaging whole experiences. I wasn't just sending music, I was sending a vision. I knew how to pitch an idea with visuals that sold it before a note was even played. And in an industry where perception is currency, that made people pay attention. When I walked into sessions or meetings, I didn't just bring a demo, I brought value. I'd help artists clarify their image and cut together visuals that got gigs. See, that built trust, and that trust made people start believing, yo, St. James has something to offer. That belief made me visible to people who mattered. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody matters. Everybody has a piece and something to offer to all that is going on. But when you're in front of people that can actually move the needle in what you're doing, that's a whole different page. Eventually, that visibility led to opportunities that changed everything. One of the most pivotal moments came when I wrote and produced Delirious by Vistoso Bosses. At the time, they were a rising duo bubbling up from Atlanta, and the song was something new, fresh, melodic, and ahead of its time. It caught a wave, and then years later, it caught a wave again. That same song was sampled by multiple major artists. The composition lived on, got reinvented, and then streamed to millions of people all over again. And that's the beauty of songwriting. A great idea never dies. But here's the real game changer. I owned 100% of my publishing. That means every time somebody sampled it, licensed it, or used it in a new production, I got paid for it. Not just once, not just up front, but over and over. That song became one of many revenue streams that now flow in passively, adding up to over $5K a month easy and growing. So how does money actually work in the music business? Here's what they don't teach you in the music theory class. Number one, money is earned through rights, not just talent. If you write or produce, your share of ownership in a song determines what you get paid, not just the time you put in. Understanding how publishing works is key. Number two, different skills pay different ways. Songwriters earn through publishing, performance, royalties, and sync. Producers can earn points, fees, back-end royalties, and more. Engineers, designers, stylists, videographers, if you're creative, you can get in a room and provide immense value and build great relationships to keep working. Number three, the biggest mistake, giving up your rights too early. Ownership is equity. Protect it. Educate yourself, because one well-owned song can out-earn 10 underpaid placements. But none of this happens overnight. None of this comes from scrolling, wishing, or comparing. It took years, focus, reps, and learning the hard way, developing a real understanding of the business and the philosophy of consistency. Because here's the truth, talent doesn't win, consistency does. Consistency is what helped me master new skills. It's what kept me creating when I wasn't getting results. It's what built the momentum that opened the doors. And that's what most creatives struggle with. Not talent, not passion, but sustained focus over time. And honestly, that's why I created Sustain, a daily mindset and momentum system for creatives who are tired of starting over. It's designed to help you lock in, rewire your beliefs, and stay focused on the vision that you say you want. Because the truth is, every creative you admire mastered consistency before they mastered success. I'm living proof that it can be done, and I want to help you do it too. I hope this has been extremely helpful for someone, and until we talk again, I wish you health, wealth, and freedom.